Evening, everyone. Icy here. Well, let's see what we got going on. First off, a former sailor from the USS Essex, which is an amphibious assault ship, along with another gentleman, both of whom were U.S. sailors, but were also Chinese, were caught selling secrets to the Chinese government. Some of the secrets were blueprints and diagrams of a radar system that was being installed in Okinawa, photographs of the interior of some ships with diagrams and blueprints on how the ships are constructed, how the wiring is, where weak parts are. So these two Chinese sailors that were U.S. sailors just traded in their loyalty to the country, and I think the one person wound up with $15,000 from the Chinese, and I'm not sure what the other guy got, but they're both in custody, and this is just another blight upon our U.S. military, courtesy of the current administration. Okay, we got the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, which was a policy that if you were gay, fine. I don't care if you're gay, just don't talk about it, don't act out on it while you're active duty in the military. What you do after you get off duty, that was between you and whoever. But that was repealed, and then as soon as that was repealed, I hate to use the term, but they came out of the woodwork, they came out of the closet, and we had massive pride parades on military bases. We had dependent children being exposed to active duty personnel from whichever branch, and a lot of them, believe it or not, were Air Force, parading around in thongs and G-strings and showing their ass and basically making themselves look like fools. But it was legal. And now you have a Air Force 4-star general who is the head of the Air Force talking about they need more colored officers and less white officers because he wants the service to be more diverse. I don't believe in that crap. I want people that are more educated. I want an officer that is intelligent. And okay, let's look at it this way. I'm going to put it in very simple terms for you people to understand. You have two students, and I don't care what country you're in, two students. Both are attending nursing school. All right? Both are trying to become nurses. Now, in a corrupt country, and I know of one, they go to take their tests to get their license. Now, they both have gone through 4 years of college. They had to go through, basically you would call it internship in a hospital where everything was hands-on. Both highly educated, one in the top 10% of their class, the other in the lower 60 percentile, we'll say. Now, both go to take the licensing test. Due to corruption, the person that is in the top 10% of the class is told, you missed it by just 1 point for getting your license. Now, the person that was in the other end of the spectrum, in the 60 percentile, had greased the palm of the tester. They passed because they bought their license by bribing the official to get their license. Now, I know this for a fact. I know it witnessed. So now here's the thing that scares me, and I'm going to equate this to officers anywhere, even police officers anywhere, firefighters anywhere. This all applies. If the dumbest person is the one who gets the job. What happens to the people that they have to serve? Example. You go to this nurse who is not as intelligent as the other one, but paid to get their license. And the doctor gave you a script for medication, an injection, we'll say. So many cc's in order to protect your life. Now, this person who is not the greatest can't read the script from the doctor well enough. Doesn't take the time to call and question it, just assumes that they understand what is written and gives you an injection which is 10, 20, 100 cc's more than what the doctor recommended. Now, by doing that, your life has now been placed at risk. Or you could have been just given enough medication to kill you. If this is what you get because someone is buying their way into a position, what are you getting when you lower the standards for people that are supposed to be defending your country? If you have, and it was the Air Force, 4-star general, he says we have to be more diverse. So if you go more diverse, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go more intelligent. I mean, affirmative action was a way for people that weren't as smart as others to use their race to get ahead. Good example, New York State police test. I know somebody, they were white and they had to score in the 90s in order to get accepted to the academy. And at the same time, a black guy had to score in the 70s. Okay? It happened. A long time ago, but it happened. That's affirmative action, where you don't have to be as good as another person in order to obtain the same status. That is wrong. That is taking away from people that are qualified and putting into people that are unqualified. Do you want to be stopped by a police officer who's highly trained and has the intelligence to know and see what's going on? Or do you want to be stopped by a police officer who is a thug, who likes the power trip and beating on people like they do in third world countries? These are the things that you're looking at when you start lowering the standards. Chicago, I won't say just Chicago, I'll say the state of Illinois because it was the governor who made the statement, wants to allow illegals to fill the position of law enforcement within the state. To do that, they have to be certified with a weapon. Now, what fool is going to hand an illegal a weapon? I mean, they had the big stink about that illegal that killed that lady out in California, and California just basically covered it up. You have over 5 million illegals sneaking into this country in the last couple of years. We don't know anything about them, really. Most of them were young military age personnel. They could have been planted by their native countries to infiltrate the United States and destroy us from within. We don't know, because no one bothered to vet these persons or keep them at bay until they could be vetted. Now you got a governor that wants to just hand them a gun and a nightstick and say, okay, go arrest people. We're in trouble. If this is the type of leadership that we are currently having within this country, we are in trouble. We are fixing to lose our country to a bunch of morons because they're playing politics with our lives. You cannot lower your standards to appease a group of protesters. Military was already diverse. Okay? You had people from every ethnic background in the military. What put all of them apart was the fact that they all had to meet the same standard. They all had to dress the same. They had to think the same. They had to work the same. You can't run a military by being diverse in every aspect of operations. Just think about this. You're in the Army. You're in a war zone. You're stuck with some guy in a foxhole who's a transgender, and he decides to freak out and pretend he's a woman, and he starts blubbering, and now all of a sudden you have to defend your life and defend their life. Or you're on a Navy ship and some girl got pregnant, and then her husband is sitting back in the States, but she hasn't seen her husband in 3 months and she's already 2 months pregnant. This is not the quality of personnel that we want in our military. There are going to be mistakes, yes. But you can plan for mistakes. You cannot plan for unknown, what's the proper word? God, I can't even think of it right now. It's on the tip of my tongue. But you got people that they're unknown qualities. You know, it's every day is a different act with them. Every day is a different emotion with them. Every day is a different demand from them. And that's not how things should work in the military. That's not how things should work in life. If you want to be what you are, fine. Do not bring it to other people to expect others to cater to your whims, okay? In the military, like I said, when I was in, I didn't see black, I didn't see red, I didn't see yellow, I didn't see white. I saw green. Everybody wore green. I don't care who you were. I looked at your rank and your uniform. That's it. You're in the Army, you wore green, you got sergeant stripes. I don't. I'm going to listen to you. That's my job, is to listen to my personnel that are placed above me. And if I had a suggestion on how to improve something, there is a chain of command to present it. Now, it's a chain of fools. And unless we start straightening things out right now, you can kiss everybody goodbye. You kiss the military goodbye. Military families are telling their children, don't bother joining because it's gone to crap. Okay? I know. I've watched the downward spiral at West Point. West Point was the military academy that produced the best officers in the Army. And here you are, you got, and you can look it up, it's online. You got one cadet who was wearing a Che Guevara communist t-shirt underneath his uniform, and he was holding up a sign and another photo saying, communism will rule. Okay? This is the officer corps in our military. They are protesting. They are complaining. They are whining. They are causing chaos in the ranks. And it is also happening in every single branch of the service. So, all right, people, better start bucking up. Start figuring how to fix this shit, because If it don't get fixed now, you might as well start learning to speak Chinese because, I mean, the president's already sucking up to him, and now you got sailors sucking up to him too. God help us. Icy out.